Greetings, angelic legion of the powerful golden age rising, as we are being activated into the new earth energies of 5D and beyond. We feel the ascension through our sacred vessel, through our DNA, and through the rainbow bridge that flows through the sacred chakra system, through the central channel, bridging heaven and earth. Today, another strange day in the matrix, in the twilight zone, being in between worlds, in between the 3 and the 5. Today, 8/22/2020, 2222 portal, and the 44 code. Of course, I started this at 10:44 p.m. The day again just disappeared, and 144 coming in all day. At 144, my speedometer of my Ram van that's going to take me on this great journey was at 1212, 1,212 miles. 1212 is the third portal to the Condor, to Great Shakti. We go through the 1010, the 1111, the 1212, the 1313, into the 1414, which is 55, 5D in heaven, 5D on earth. The 73 into the 37 is the 1010, the first portal. There are 5 sacred portals for the 5 elements, for the 4 directions in the center, making 5. The center of the medicine wheel, where it is the 0 point of the sacred portal where the condor flies, the elven Venusian queen, fully activated, fully lit up. The Lemurian sacred heart being activated, and all the star blossoms stationed around this realm. Today we had a 48 hertz blast on the Schumann resonance, which in Gaia time is 848 to the 828, and 48 is the 12, the divine feminine of Shakti, and the sacred condor as one, fully embodied. The Shiva Shakti codes fully activated when the wings of the 2 birds touch the sacred condor and the sacred eagle. It will really be game on for the new earth. The ring of fire again totally lit up. We had 106 earthquakes M1.5 or greater, and the most powerful today, of course, was on Ascension Island. It's like the plane, boss. The plane is here. A little tattoo from Fantasy Island. He would say, the plane carrying the souls to live out their greatest fantasy. And this is the plane of freedom, the bird of freedom, or we could say the birds of freedom. And this was 7074 degrees south of the equator, 77 at 8:38 UTC, 2222. So we have the Lionsgate portal, the 8-8 with the Trinity in the middle, the 3 Dantians, which are the Rainbow Bridge. And that was a 6.0, bringing in the 6D energy. We had a 4.1 in Nicaragua, Central America. Japan with the Lemurian energy, 4-5 at 10 kilometers depth. And then a 5-4 at St. Helena, which is also Ascension Islands. So that's the 9-9, the 4-5, and the 5-4, the mirror, bringing in the 99 code, which are the 9 gates in 11 dimensions, creating 99. We had in the sacred portal El Salvador 4.7, and then in Russia 4.2, and then the sacred portal in Chile, South America, and the sacred Andes Mountains 4.2. And then again, also multiple activations in the crown of Lemuria. The queen is crowned, and the king is on his way. With these activations, we had a 3.9 in Anchor Point, Alaska, and then Sand Point again, 3.2, and then a 3.0 further north. That is the higher gateway above the crown. That is the ultraviolet. So send that ultraviolet energy, the frequency, the waves, the ultraviolet ray to the eagle and the condor to fulfill this final prophecy, the final mission of Shakti and Shiva reuniting to activate the highest love codes and freedom codes for all of humanity. And I feel that right in the top of my skull right now. It's like a volcano erupting and letting this sacred mana flow. Sometimes it flows out, sometimes it flows in. It is the Merkaba. Aho. We'll start today's first transmission from Divine Sister of the Light, Grace Solaris. The nature of fear and how to deal with it through breath and grounding. The first thing that happens when you go into fear is that you shoot out of your heart and out of your body. This reaction comes from the amygdala, and through a chemical outpour, the flight or fight modus is activated, and even without you consciously taking the decision, it happens over your head, so to say. Same things happen when a person goes into shock or extreme pain. However, let's focus on the fear aspect here. So when you disalign from your body, you become uncentered, like a boat without sails and direction, and you are subject to the elements and energies on the external. You get subject to the energies of the collective and lose focus and the ground under your feet literally. You become ungrounded. In this state of ungroundedness, the fear has free access to play it on you, and so what actually you were trying to avoid, the fear, now gets a hold on you. Thus, the first thing to do when you get into a state of fear is to ground yourself, breathe into your body, and become fully present. Take time to ground yourself through your breathing from crown to toe, and slow down. You might consciously slow your breath down, even your heartbeat. Know that the higher aspect of you is in the knowing how to do this. Simply trust. So slow down and return back into your body in the pace and time that is needed. No rushing or forcing, but rather allowing and surrendering into dropping back into your body. Tell yourself, I am safe. Breathe in this knowing and repeat, I am safe. I am calm. I am stillness. Notice where in your body you hold your breath back or the energy gets stuck, and release it, breathe it out, let it collapse and relax. Realize that you can do nothing to change the situation, but you can change how you react to it. You can master the situation and overcome your fear by coming back into your heart, returning back into the safe haven of your heart, as this is the place where you align with your God spark, the eternal source light that is omnipresent inside every cell and atom of your being. When you allow this light to permeate your being, you come into a state of divine immunity as the chemistry of this love alkalizes the fear, which by nature is acidic, and indeed weakening your immune system. But as you align with this omnipresent light, your heart rate goes down, your shallow breath becomes deep as you sink into the ocean of love, where everything is in 0 point neutrality. There is no good and bad. Everything simply is as it is. There is no judgment, and therefore no attachments, and therefore no fear. It is the space in which you are immersed in the totality of oneness and can feel completely safe. Try this out and let us know how you are doing. If this doesn't work, let us know. Remember, love is the antidote to all disease, and thus make sure to be grounded and fully present in your heart in these challenging times. My last tip is to ask your I Am Presence to readjust you to the earth poles as they are going through a radical change, and by readjusting you click into place and get fully aligned and harmonized, and immediately rebalances you mentally, emotionally, and physically. It works instantly. So maybe fear has not gotten you, but you feel unsettled and emotional, vulnerable. Ask your I Am Presence to readjust you to the earth poles. It works miracles instantly. This was a tip that I received from Mother Gaia many years ago in the early stages of the pole reversal. Be calm, beloved ones, and know all is perfect as it is in this moment. All is in divine order, even if it all seems chaotic. There is a higher plan, and no mistakes are made. You were made for this. You are a miracle of love, and your body is capable of surviving anything. You are the living resurrection of Christ. From Grace Solaris. And know that the symbolism of the resurrection is eternal life. The end of the impermanence game is here now. The end of the recycle system, the reincarnation archonic system, has ended now. And know the end of the suffering simulation is ending now. And we're finalizing and resolving all that was part of these false systems and part of the miscreations of the false mind of man. Now that the true human of the light is coming into form, embodying and coding these highest cosmic consciousness, Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness, energies, frequencies, codes, waves of energy. In each moment, we are rising through the still waters into the heavenly light to bring in and bridge the holiest of holies, the most sacred heart, into the field of the foundation of 3D. And then the two worlds become one. We merge the internal with the external and the external with the internal. Or we could say physical with non-physical, non-physical with physical. And I know in these final hours, days, we don't know exact timeline, but we know we are at this sacred precipice of this quantum leap of consciousness. So hang in there, beloved beings of light. We got this. And no matter what we are going through in this moment, know that this too shall pass. And everything we're experiencing is part of the divine plan and is in perfect harmony with the Tao. The Tao is nature. It is God, source. Today from Divine Bro Star of the Light Pars Kute, remember that we belong first to this universe and second to the earth. Our lives follow the laws of this universe. The morass we see around us at present is not our actual reality. We stand in the quantum field, in that endless array of potentials that, with their openness, beckon to us to call forward the forming of new atoms of possibility that will form themselves into forms that, if not recognizable at first, have sprung from our love of equality, of abundance, of freedom and sovereignty. All is well, dear ones, and shall be most well, for at a beautiful and powerful higher level we have decreed it so, the collective. Today from Divine Sister of the Light, Amanda Lawrence, Wayshowers. And then it is known, it becomes, the shift of consciousness within. It shall happen one by one by one. A shift, a merge occurs in the oneness. The one that always was, is, and can only ever be that. It always was of itself. Some of us will have been given experiences before, a short experience, either during our awakening journey or during our human life as a precursor, to allow us to have a temporary experience within the body and our consciousness state that would occur at a future timeline in our ascending path here in this lifetime. We were given a foretaste of what would occur to us. It is here, the shift in consciousness. It doesn't announce itself ahead of happening. It just happens without fanfare to you, where separation is no more, where all is seen, felt, heard, experienced as the one, and so the oneness. Because every single breath we breathe is then experienced as God's breath known, every single in and out breath. There never was separation. It was always one. Separation was an experience of a consciousness state. When that is removed, nothing is experienced as separate. All is seen, felt, heard, known as one cohesive presence. There is no space in between. It is all one. Space and separation was the illusion for an experience for source. We've breathed as forgetfulness here, unaware at first of the sheer and utter sacredness of the humanized breath. We learnt within the sacredness of breath, linked this to our heart space. We practiced via our own will the power of breath and heart cohesion. We knew these were the keys. We allowed its expansion over years of our sheer will, unabating trust and experiential inner knowing, not a belief system, an inner knowing system we trusted in, knowing the day would come when our consciousness would leap and we would know, become one again as the only one through this humanized body experience. And as we do this together, one by one, it is just the beginning, and will occur to the people one by one, for there is only one, and when each experience this at the perfect hour for each diamond-lighted facet, every breath the human takes changes everything. Each and every breath becomes God's breath known. The human breathing experience fades. God breathing its own energy becomes the permanent experience. The dominant human mind fades out, no longer the dominant program that held the lower consciousness in the human experience. Consciousness is and becomes the only dominant experience. Human fades out as the human body is understood as a vessel for consciousness to experience with. Space, distance between this and that fades as source energy is interlinking and underlying all things. It always did. We just couldn't perceive it at a lower consciousness state. We perceived all things as separate. This and that becomes one almighty presence, seen, felt, heard, touched, known, but not as the human body. Consciousness is not in the human body, it is everywhere. Everywhere, yet we each can utilize a unique and individual physical vessel, God's vessel, and so it begins, the shift of the ages. Never give up. Allow your journey to unfold at exactly the most natural and perfect timing that you have already designed to occur. You are already one, and always will be. It cannot not be so, for all is, was, and can only ever be one. One love, not a human phrase. It is the truth remembered. In joy, in our collective dance, in wonderment. I love you. One love, Amanda Lawrence. And today, from Divine Angel of Light, Grandma Chandra, August 22nd, 2020, contains the quadruple master number 2222. The frequencies coming into Gaia on this day will be the highest we have experienced thus far. It is connected with the positioning of Gaia in the galaxy and the infinity symbol, which will be tuning all the axis of Gaia. It will bring Gaia to the best position to pass through the Lion's Gate and to be open for the energies coming to Gaia and all of humanity so that they can be absorbed, received, and utilized the best way possible with maximum intensity. These energies will gradually push the old paradigms out of your reality to make way for the new. To prepare for this, you need to be more in the sun, under the moon, and in the water, so you can use all the phases of light energy. Whales and dolphins are preparing the ocean waters for this. They are balancing the tides of the world's oceans with moon phases so that it will not be so drastic for the beings of the ocean. The dragons are creating a gap between the old axis and the new axis to allow the energies to come through. The eagles are working with vortices that are receiving beams and directing these beams of energy and light where they need to go. The owls are doing the same work with moonlight at night. From grandmachandra.com. From Divine Bro Star of the Light, Daniel Scranton. You are leaving the old 3D paradigm behind, the 90 Arcturian Council. Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We have been giving a lot of our attention to the way that you either congratulate someone who has accomplished something, or in contrast, at times you feel jealous. At times you look for the failure of another to give you a certain sense that things are better in your world. You have been in a paradigm where you've been playing a game of limitation. That game of limitation has been ingrained into your minds, and what that means is you tend to believe that there is only so much to go around. If this person over here becomes successful, then I must be less likely to be a success in that field. That is a mentality that you were raised in. That is what you've been taught. You've been taught to compete against one another, and you've been taught about winning and losing. But now is the time for all of you to look for more opportunities to collaborate with each other. Now is an excellent time for all of you to see another success as your own success, because you are all connected. Now is a good time for you to remind yourselves that if someone else can do something, then they are opening the door for you to be able to do it as well. We suggest that you look for reasons to feel better about where you are on your journey. For example, if you have not yet experienced success in some endeavor in your life, then you still have that to look forward to. You still have the joy of the journey in front of you, and you are far more likely to make that journey all the way to that pinnacle that you want to reach. If you are celebrating the successes of others, when you are focused on success, you will vibrate in that particular frequency. When you see someone else's success as shining a spotlight on your failures, then you will continue to vibrate in harmony with failure, by your own definition, whatever that is. So celebrate the success of your human counterparts there and realize that there is always enough for everyone. And we mean enough of everything, no shortage, no limitation. You have to let go of these concepts now because it serves you to do so. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. And today, from Divine Bro Star of the Light, Paul Dobry Carey, As the current Lionsgate portal begins to dissipate, having discharged its final Sirian-encoded cosmic transmissions, the fifth-dimensional Merkaba begins to resonate at increasingly higher frequencies to expand your personalized toroidal sphere. The gradual spin increase in velocity brings with it greater awareness of multidimensional realities beyond current comprehension. All that exists within the third-dimensional collective consciousness has common recognition through familiarity. Higher dimensional awareness will come from acceptance of the changes occurring around you, releasing fear of the unknown, and allowing your inner guidance system to come online more in the form of remembering rather than recognizing. Higher dimensions are where you came from. There is nothing unfamiliar to your higher self. Your current soul aspect is what is new to this world, not your inner knowing. Adapting to a fifth-dimensional awareness is not about waiting to see what is out there, but allowing what is emanating from within to become a daily part of your reality. Look within to experience your true expanded self emerging, and then bring the energies of that understanding out into the world you are creating around you, so others may see who you are too. It is you that is creating your fifth-dimensional experience. There is only now. There is no requirement to wait and see what others are doing or how they are doing it, either in this world or from the next. Open your heart center unconditionally and accept rather than resist all lower vibrational frequencies, thoughts and patterns, and behaviors. Why choose to maintain these when you have a choice not to? Choose creation over reaction, courage over suffering, acceptance over defiance, love over fear. The choice is yours, always, in all ways. If you put your awareness in your heart center, there is a frequency to tap into the fifth dimensional energies. Ta-ra, Torah me, Shaki na Toraki, Kara na Teya, Kara na Torah, Kumara Kundali Nirakundali Ri. From PolarisAB.com. Today, from Tibetan Buddhist Master Shamtrul Rinpoche. The energy of a storm has the power to cause a huge amount of destruction, but if you could control that energy, you would be able to use it to bring a huge amount of benefit instead. Likewise, the energy that arises as the destructive emotions of desire, anger, and so on has so much power, and in Tantra this energy is not ignored. In Tantra this energy is turned towards the path to enlightenment. And today from the Zolkin Times, Kin 146, White Electric Worldbridger. Electric is the name for the number 3, and its keywords are activate, service, and bond. The third day of a wave spell really accelerates the pace, never dull. Electric days are full of energy. Today is the third day of the Yellow Seed wave spell, the first portal day of the Omega column, which contains 10 portal days in a row. Today is White Worldbridger, and it represents death, equalize, and opportunity. I always think of Worldbridger as the gatekeeper, like Tim from Monty Python's Holy Grail. He asks a riddle. He tests you before you are permitted to pass. All crossings entail either paying a token or passing an exam. Opportunity requires this process. If you wish to take it to the next level, be prepared to make a sacrifice or face a test. Are you worthy? As it is an electric Worldbridger, this means the bridge is now activated. And today, from Divine Sister of the Light, Christina Papagiorgio, White Electric Worldbridger, Kin 146, 22 August 2020, activating service. 22-8-2020 equal 22-8-22 equal 484 equal 88 equal 16 equal 7. 22-8-22, Architect of Peace Portal, bridging new worlds. 8-8, Abundance, Infinite Source Flow Gate. 4, Form, Structure, Foundation, Earth. 7, Spiritual Magic, Mystic, Initiation. Kin 146 equal 11 equal 2, Partnership, Cooperation. 11, Portal, Doorway, Polarity. 22-22, Electric Peace Portal Gap Day, triple the boost. Ready, set, go, here we go, down the slippery slide. 10 gap days in a row of intense energies. Today we begin the second round of 10 successive gap galactic activation days. The interdimensional doorways are flung wide open, flooding our planet with new energies that are now available for us to access and become conduits for this new 5D energy. The gap day plus the electric power tone means we have an express rocket-fueled wild ride today. Get ready to blast off. Tone of creation. Electric is the tone number 3 in the tone of creation. It is the first of the 3 emotional realm tones. Thus there is a very strong emotional charge today, which may create outbursts in those who need to find their balance. Electric energy may create a short fuse, making things combustible today. This energy can be better harvested through the higher aspects of this tone, which encompass being of service to others through the action of bonding, that is coming together with others to co-create and be of service. The electric tone beautifully combines with the Worldbridger, which builds bridges between warring factions and disharmony in relationships to reach a place of equality. Day 3 in the yellow seed wave spell of awakening, flowering, new beginnings, ripening, opening to more light, and blossoming into your highest potential. Today we are joining together in divine service with our kin to activate our highest timeline, pushing the limits of what we are capable of achieving. Move in the direction of your true heart's desires to express your destiny and your highest calling. Everything you build needs to be on a new foundation of unconditional love and service to humanity. So precious hearts, today the emotional body will reveal all that is needed to be surrendered in order for the new energies to anchor, detach from drama and any volatility that may be ignited today. Shake it off. Like water off a duck's back, choose to focus on the new and put down very strong roots, anchoring these gap energies into a solid foundation for expansive growth. Today's question is, how can I forge my heart connections with my planetary kin, bonding in service together, building a bridge to our new world, divine blessings for the commencement of a very wild ride down this very slippery slide. There is no going back now. The only way through is fast forward. Viva Nova Terra Gaia, here we come on the express train now. In La Kek a la Kin, Christina White, Magnetic Worldbridger, Kin 66. Kin 146, White, Electric Worldbridger. The mantra, the code for today is, I activate in order to equalize. Bonding opportunity, I seal the store of death with the electric tone of service. I am guided by the power of heart. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. And with these higher dimensional galactic gamma waves flowing in now, let us know in the comments below what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, your visions, your dreams, and your synchronicities. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and click the subscribe button below and the little bell next to subscribe to get notifications on future uploads. And as always, we have a link in the description below to the transcriptions of today's transmissions, and we archive these on our website, primedisclosure.com. I'd like to also thank everyone for your continued support and your pledges on Patreon. If you'd like to support my work here on YouTube and with Prime Disclosure, you can make a pledge on patreon.com/Prime Disclosure. And if you're new to Patreon, be sure to subscribe or scroll through all the posts. I make a lot of posts on there. So within there are multiple teachings, meditative practices. I uploaded one several days ago on an advanced Kundalini awakening activation. And I'll be posting a couple new meditations in the next few days. If everything goes well with all these timeline jumps and leaps and activations, time is running away from us. I'd like to also thank Divine Sister of the Light, Paulina, for your donations. I appreciate you. So with all these intense energies and activations, I've been anchoring my highest codes into the grid and all the sacred portals that I've been working with for many years now. And every day, multiple times a day now, as I go into meditation or certain practices, I've been doing the Eternal Living Ankh that's transmitted from Shri and Kara, our divine angels anchoring in the Shiva Shakti energies and codes into our sacred portals in Ecuador. They have a powerful meditation you can get on their website, which is the living Ankh of eternal life. And every day, as I prepare for my journey, as my final mission of 3D, to unite the eagle and the condor, the Shiva, the Shakti, I know now that there are 5 portals I must go through to return to my soul star family and the queen of the Condor nation, of the Elven Venusian nation and Lemuria. They're all connected. It's the divine feminine, the divine goddess, which is already soaring high. The eagle is learning to fly. The dragon that spent many years in his cave is learning to become the white gold eagle of the sacred prophecy. And I am doing my best and highest work, prepared for over 30 years for this great mission and journey to embody the codes of the great eagle and fulfill this final mission of 3D and open that sacred doorway to fully manifest new earth as Shiva and Shakti dance freely and fly freely through the cosmos, the universal dance, the dance through the cosmic energies, dancing through the stars and the galaxies, activating the Milky Way and all galaxies of the universe, tapping into the multiverse. And on this white electric Worldbridger day, I also just happen to be drinking some white tea from the sacred buds of the tea plant. White tea is good for the lungs and large intestines. It is the element. White is the element of metal, and the color white in Chinese medicine and Taoist philosophy. 1144, coming in to 144. Now, one quick story before I fly away into the ethers. Over the last several days, Great Spirit, on my journeys throughout the day, I've been bringing some of my angels from the past that I haven't seen in a while onto my path so that I could transmit to them that I will be leaving soon and to transmit the codes of the new earth. And yesterday, on the trails to one of my portals, came one of my dear friends, Dr. Phil. Not Dr. Phil, but Dr. Phil. And not the Dr. Phil, my friend Dr. Phil, who's a chiropractor that has helped me out many times over the years, snapping my neck and my spine. And my body's been through great damages over the years from many different things, from the martial arts, from training as a warrior, from accidents, many different things. It's like my one Sifu who's stuck thousands of needles into me over the years for healing, obviously, and acupuncture needles, not hypodermic. I was like a pincushion for many years. I still practice on myself when necessary, when needed. That's one of the arts I can teach, which I'll be teaching in the future. And my Sifu would crack my neck. Sometimes it would sound like a branch breaking, where I would sit there and think, did you just break my neck? Damn it, that hurt. You know? But it would always break something open. But my neck went through a lot of damage over the years, but it's fine. You know, I heal it on a daily basis and practice Qigong and joint mobility and many things. On Patreon, I have a joint mobility practice that you can find on there if you just type in joint mobility. It's good for every joint, body. I also do iron body practice every day to strengthen, we call it bone tendon changing. So as I was on this path, and Dr. Phil and his wife and daughter and little white doggy were walking by, I said, hey, Phil. He didn't even see me. He's going to walk right by me, and we've spent many hours talking. The secretary at his office kicked me out many times because Dr. Phil and I will go into these long discussions of philosophy and many different things. We were in a club together years ago called Toastmasters to learn how to do public speaking, and he's a great human being and very funny guy and very intelligent, like all of you. And so we discussed what we had been up to, and obviously most things lead back to the scamdemic. So I had to go on my rant for a few minutes and then talk to them about how this whole thing, because even his wife, she's a yoga teacher and teaches Pilates, was like, this whole thing is weird. Everyone feels like they're in the twilight zone. So I have to bring, ground people back in and say this is all part of a divine plan. Obviously, nefarious beings with this nonsense mask thing and these fake virus things and fear of things that are invisible, a demon here, a virus there, an archon there, It's not that these things don't exist. It's just that we're much more powerful than any of those things. And there's nothing to fear, not even fear itself. So as I talk to them about my mission and the new earth, that what's going to come out of this great shift, this great awakening is the new earth, heaven on earth. And his young daughter was just beaming at me the whole time because they know, the kids know. And the little doggy kept coming up to me and sniffing me, so I would get down and pet the little character, the little critter, get some doggy medicine. The daughter kept saying, "Oh," The dog was really cute. So it was funny because I was going to tell this story yesterday, but by the time I was recording with the waves of energy coming in, I could barely see straight, so I finished it up early. But then today, because I always love to tell people stories about Dr. Phil because they think I'm talking about the famous one on TV. And see where we're going with this. Today, as I was preparing for these transmissions, it popped up from our brothers and sisters of the light from lovehaswon.org that MG, Mother God, is going to make an appearance on Dr. Phil this week. I guess he's going to be on, I don't know, I don't follow that stuff. But I think it was set on the 8/25 on the 25th that something is going to happen on that show. It was just a synchronicity I want to bring up, so I'm sure people will be posting about it. So people always kind of joke as I walk to my portals and I have my malas on and bare feet and the long hair, just that, I look like some kind of holy saint just gliding through the paths. And after we ended the discussion, I bowed to them and I said, Dr. Phil, we grabbed hands. I said, we shake and look each other in the eye. We're real men. This is the way of the warrior, this nonsense that they're projecting through these black boxes on people's television sets. And I've gotten confirmations, not that I needed any, because I told people from day one of this nonsense virus thing and shutting down the world. Obviously, the world shut down for a purpose, but the nefarious, the dark ones are using it to try and hide people's smiles and laughter and keep people in anger and fear or whatever with the stupid mask thing. But I digress, and I don't get on my soapbox because I know it's for a higher purpose, a higher mission, and it's a dark night of the soul for the collective and many things, obviously, and to shut down these human trafficking rings and for the Earth Alliance to do what they need to do to help with this shift, which part of it is to stop the torture and trauma of humanity through these mafia organizations, which this channel I don't get into the conspiracy stuff too much because this is more for uplifting consciousness. And the wife, the yoga teacher of Dr. Phil, his wife, who got uplifted from the stories I was saying about the new earth and the great awakening and that this is the flowering of human consciousness. She said, that's very nice. Like you could see people's energy lift. And she goes, the world needs hope, And I said, that's what my channel's for, it's not a false hope. It's the hope of and the faith in our highest power. It's to inspire other people to rise up, to lift up. And obviously, these dark ones that need to be exposed, all that stuff. I leave the conspiracy stuff up to our people like David Icke, Alex Jones, Liz Crokin, all of them. They're doing great work. It's people say, they red pill people. So once someone's red pill and they go down that rabbit hole over and over, then they generally end up at my channel or channels like myself that say, okay, this is, we're in the matrix and Maya, the illusion, and we're waking up from that simulation into this new earth, this heaven on earth, and this is how we do it, and this is what we need to do by living from our heart, and these concepts of raising our frequency and transmitting love, because as enough people rise up in these ascension energies, these nefarious things can exist in that higher resonance. So it's multi-level, multi-dimensional, and we're all navigating through these energies, and we know we're right at this culmination point, or this omega point of this quantum leap. So every day we go through and through and through, take each one day at a time, and try to stay present, bring our awareness into moment by moment, into our heart resonance, and to our connections to all star blossoms, star seeds, and then those that are closest to us, and those of our soul star family, as we're reuniting through these crystalline grids, and through, in my case, the crystal children, and obviously our beloved beings of light in the higher dimensions, and those that passed, that ascended already, like divine grandmother of Uluru, Violet, and she came to me again a couple nights ago in her ship, in this, it's an amazing looking light ship that has these like white light tentacle arms coming off of it, and I always get blasted in my sky eye when she appears, and I see the violet light of her great loving energy. And many of our beloveds, my nephew James and George and Tina Casadonis, my brother, the light, tall Paul Konitsia, who they took out on my birthday last year. It's like, that was a big mistake. Reptilian Draconians, he was the black dragon, and now I still have his black dragon he gifted me many years ago. He was one of my good brothers that we fight every day for those that were taken out. And they want to rub it in by doing stuff like that. And I'm not going to tell the story about that because it's disturbing and disgusting, and I'm here to transmit the light. But I just want you all to know that we're all going through great challenges and suffering through this great transformation. And his image of the black dragon is still over the door of my library in my sacred temple with my pyramid and altar and all my sacred books. And I know he is with us now, with many of our friends, Brian and Carrie and George and Tina, my grandfather Joseph, grandmother Mary, father Ronald C., and many others, too many to name. Many went before us to help us on this final mission, and we will be reunited with them once the full activation of heaven on earth and new earth, because all veils will be lifted and removed, and we will reconnect and reunite with all those that we loved, our animal friends, our brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, and our children that have went before will reunite with us on the new earth. So keep walking your sacred path with heart, beloved beings of light. I love you all. Namaste.